Hi guys, this is Bess Boomer getting back with you. Today I'm going to talk about how divided the country is and just kind of touch on that. One of the commentators from The Hill describes it as being as divided as in the Civil War days. that's pretty scary because that's about as divided as country's ever been, and he's seeing it as that now. You know, it's divided like right down partisan lines. It's funny. The stats show there's been studies as to what Democrats feel as compared to what Republicans feel about different issues. And for instance, the COVID pandemic, the Democrats think it's a very, very big problem, more so than what the Republicans feel, and so that's kind of interesting. I mean, I figured that, but I didn't know how much it differed. And the difference is 76% of Democrats think it's a huge problem, while as 37% of Republicans think it's a huge problem. So, and it goes down the line in other areas too, like healthcare. I would say 72% of Democrats think it's a huge problem, and only 39% of Republicans think it's a huge problem. And why is that? You know, it seems like the Democrats are more worried about everything than the Republicans are. And I think Democrats are feelers. You know, they go by their feelings. And I think Republicans more go by their head, their logic. And that's, you know, so you really feel things a lot more, worry about them more than maybe what the Republicans do. So very, very interesting. And I don't know how you even get around that. It's interesting too, the approval or disapproval of Trump. High school graduates are pretty evenly divided, but if you have a BA, if you've graduated from college, actually 2/3 disapprove of Trump. So, you know, you can say the more educated you get, the more your disapproval of Trump goes up. That's not exactly true. I mean, I have postgraduate education, and I'm for Trump. So, you know, these aren't hard and fast rules. But I will say that the education now, college education today, is there's a much more liberal bent to it than there was in days past. Now, people will dispute that. I've seen, you know, entries on Facebook disputing that. Probably the younger people who are going to college right now and haven't seen the change or read about the change. You know, you're talking all the, you know, the safe spaces they have in college and all those things, and people being so offended and not inviting in. For instance, one said they don't invite conservative speakers in because they talk hate speech. No, they, you know, but it is a view different from theirs. So it's not hate speech, it's a conservative view. And they don't even want the students to hear that. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. And it's shaping our young people in a direction I hate to see for them, you know, to go. But so, you know, why is this? You know, the division. I mean, so some of it, you know, could be your education. Some of it could just be the way you are, you know, as to, you know, if you like numbers and logic and that kind of thing, or if you're more, you know, you feel it in your heart and, you know, I'm going to help all the poor however I can, and I'm all for helping poor people who can't help themselves. But, you know, there's a limit to everything. I remember back in my days of juvenile court officer, and I had a supervisor we had a program, you know, and it's helping people who need some help. Of course, these are all, you know, kids in the they're delinquents, and you know, some of them I think would use that benefit to, great extent, and then others no. But the thing is, there was a limit to our funds. And even though his heart was big and he wanted to help anybody who came through our doors, you had to make some tough decisions as to how that money would be used, and understand there is a finite limit to the funds. That's kind of like on a larger scale in the United States. There is a finite limit to the funds when you're talking about, free education and medical care for all and all those things. There is a price to pay for that. So, the debate can go back and forth, but I will say, here's one thing that I came upon that I really agree with, that could be a big part of the problem these days. And that is, we all have what we call confirmation bias. And the definition of that is a tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs or values. So in other words, you're going to seek out what bolsters your side of the equation or opinion. And that is so very true. What I've said in other videos, and what I suggest in this one, is switch up your channels once in a while. Our media today is not what it used to be. It is totally biased, absolutely biased. And you will be shocked at the difference in what you hear about different issues. Go to Fox and then switch over to CNN. Go to Fox and switch to CNN and see what you get. Now, it'll make your blood boil if you feel passionately about issues, but it also opens up your eyes and helps you understand what the other side, and it is another side, is hearing and believing. And you want to trust your newscasters. They are not trustworthy. I mean, that is for sure. So you try to find unbiased sources, which that's hard to do. And you don't want to seek out those that are just on your side. Of course, it's going to bolster your opinion. So that confirmation bias is real, and our media feeds it. You can't get, the truth hardly from anywhere. And it's not a good deal. I don't know how it's going to end. We've talked about it, but it's scary what's happening today. And then you throw in a radical element that's just there to wreak havoc with, our beliefs and culture, and it's not a good deal. So anyway, that's my thoughts on some of the reasons why we're so divided along partisan lines. And just one thing that I point out is the media fuels it, and we kind of buy into it. So this is Best Boomer. If you like my channel, like it, share it, and please consider subscribing. In a couple weeks here, I'll be back home and bringing some products to you, some of the best things that I found. And I love to do that because I love to try new things. And so there's always new things coming up, especially, in cosmetics, but also in other things too. So I'll be bringing some things to you. But until then, I'm just doing these walk and talks. And, sorry for offending anyone out there. Please don't unsubscribe because I have a different opinion. I think basically we all want the same things. Unless you're evil, I think we all want the same things, for us to be happy and, our economy to hum along, and for us to be healthy, be able to practice our religion like we want to, and all those things. So I think there are more commonalities by far than there are differences once you get to talking to other people. So take care out there with everything that's going on, and I'll see you next time, probably on Monday. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.